There are two kinds of people in this world. The people who fail to do what they know they should, and those who keep doing things they know they shouldn't. Guess what? You're both. Hi, I'm your host, life and business coach, Marcy Barker, aka your loving kick in the pants. In this podcast, I'll teach you the 6 steps of my accountability code that will help you wake up with clarity and show up with aligned action steps that make follow through easy and peaceful. All right, let's jump in. Hello, my beautiful people. All right, last week I talked to you on the podcast about different ways to force yourself to slow down, and I am so happy to report that I have practiced what I preached. And I'm going into my second week of vacation. And when I say vacation, I kind of use that loosely because I'm back in my hometown, where I spent my entire life until I moved across the country. So vacation is like, I'm just back. But my husband asked me today, he's like, do you have any calls on your calendar? Like, have you made any sales lately? And I'm like, no, because I'm blocked off my calendar on purpose. And it's just been really good because I have actually felt those feelings of like, man, I am really rested. I'm truly rested. Today was a little bit of a busier day, but it was like, okay, let me tell you what my busy day was. Okay. I woke up, I took my mother-in-law to a doctor's appointment. Which service, I love spending time with her. So that was great. It was just an errand that I had to wake up to an alarm, you guys. I haven't had to do that in a while, but that's what I did. And then I took my daughter to get her nails done, which is something she has been looking forward to and saved her money up for. So that was really cool. And during that, I had a friend call me and I just got really good self-care time in while my daughter was getting her nails done. And then I went and I got a touch up with my laser hair gal. And enough said. If you want to know more about that, I can tell you more about that. But I was in town and I was like, hey, I might as well. So that's a little bit of self-care. But also, if you guys have ever had laser hair removal done, like you and I can chat about how it's like, I kind of dread it. I'm not even going to lie. But I went and did that. And then I immediately went to another cute girl. I met her in Lady Bosses and she did one of my 5-day challenges, got great results. And she's like, hey, when you're in town, come and get a free service with me. And I was like, yes, I will do that. So I got the best facial I've ever had in my life. And when I walked in, she's like, okay, you can change. And I was like, change? I thought I was just getting a facial. And she's like, yeah, this goes, basically I took my shirt off, covered my parts, and she worked on not just my face, but my neck, my shoulders, and all the way down to my fingertips. And I was like, that was way more than I thought I was going to get. I've never had all of that done with a facial, and I was 100% pampered. It was so, so nice. And I have this, she was like, are there any things on your face you're worried about? And I was like, yeah, I have like this discoloration on my forehead. She had a name for it. And you guys, I don't even know the name, but I've been getting ads in my Facebook and my Instagram about creams for this sort of thing on my skin. Anyway, you guys will probably know what it is if you're listening. But so she sent me a treatment plan, more self-care, which I absolutely love because I am in that stage of my life where I can take time to take care of my skin. I take supplements and I'm doing my own skincare way more regularly than I used to. And I can feel it. I notice a difference. Anyway, so she took care of me. That was very, very nice. And then I came back home and then went shopping, took my mother-in-law to some of the stores that she likes to go to get a lot of her Iranian food and ingredients from. And then took my daughter to a birthday party. And you guys, like, none of this was work. None of this was work, but it still took my energy. But there is a difference in expending your energy for work. And there's a difference in expending your energy on play, things that you look forward to, things that you want to do. So it was really, really nice. Hey listeners, the message of waking up and showing up is yours for the taking. In fact, it's free. I've recorded my entire audiobook and I'd love for you to consume it between episodes. Head to marcybarker.com to get instant access to the accountability code Wake Up and Show Up. All right, let's jump back in. And so if you're like, okay, Marcy, get to the point. Like, why am I listening to this accountability podcast and just listening to you talk about your day? Well, number one, I hope that we're friends. I hope that you guys actually do get some value from this podcast. There is one podcast that I heard a lot of people say like, hey, this is really great. And I tuned into it and she sounded like a robot. And I was like, I could tell that she's reading her entire script, which is fine. It makes perfect sense because then you don't have people like me, tripping over your words, trying to think of what to say. But I just decided in my podcast, I want you guys to feel motivated, and I want you guys to feel connected to yourself. And I want you guys to be very deliberate about how you're feeling right now, because how you're feeling right now impacts the choices that you're going to make right now. And the choices that you make right now impact how you're going to feel and move forward. And it's really important that you take time to slow down. So with this, I want you guys to just think of your day. Like, go through your day and think of, like, what did I actually do today? And was it work? Was my energy expended on work, or was it expended on play? Because, fully relaxing and self-care, like, it's not always going to be pampering. It's not always going to be, let me just lay in my bed all day and I feel good watching Netflix. Like, that is not self-care. Sometimes it can be, but we have to tune in and say, what are the things I actually need right now? So I was really, really glad to sit down with this podcast and say, okay, what do I need? And I had my past recording about, 5 ways to force yourself to slow down. And I was like, you know what? When you guys are intentional about what you want to do, things are going to come to pass. And I also was thinking too, I'm in this new certification program that I had mentioned in a couple podcasts back about hiring a new coach. And part of this homework that we had was writing down our opinions about our industry and our life opinions. And as I was getting feedback, I was recognizing just how much of my language is about right now, the things you're doing now, how they're going to impact you, and how if you do things right now, it's going to help you become a better person. And so that was kind of just like an epiphany to me, as in I'm speaking to action takers. And I think that that's something that I really enjoy doing, because I really don't like wasting my time. And so if you're here listening to this podcast and you have even had 1 ounce of motivation to do something, I'm like, that is the perfect thing I can do to make this worth my time too. And I hope that as you're listening to a podcast on accountability, that you do have that intention to say, you know what am I going to do better? And it doesn't have to be work. It can be like, let me just turn my phone off right now and let me go and ground, or let me go and play, or let me give myself permission to not work for the next few hours or for the next few days, if that's what you need. So I have 1 more week of playtime, which I'm really excited for. I get to throw a baby shower for my best friend. And I also am hosting a pool party for lady bosses, which is fun. It is fun. And even though it is planned and it is for my business, it's like I have planned nothing for people to sign up for things or to network in a specific way. Like, there are 0 plans. It is just to come and have fun and relax and connect. And we all need that. So next week on the podcast, I will be home in my own bed. By the time that you guys hear it, I still will record it. And I'm excited to report just how slowing down and forcing yourself to play really does benefit you. And I am really excited to take that back into this new season of, school's going to start. You guys, my kids are on a year-round school schedule. Okay. Just feel bad for me for a second, please, because it is so much different than starting school the end of August. No, my kids start the end of July. So I have had time to play. And when I get home, we do the back to school stuff and my kids will be in school, and it is gung ho for me, which I'm really excited about, but especially because I force myself to slow down and play so that I can have the right mindset when I jump back in. So I want you to know, play. You deserve it, and your body needs it. And it is a really good way for you to dive in with new intentions and new energy and a new fresh perspective on what's working for you. So I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week for another episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. Hey friends, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Your Loving Kick in the Pants. If you got any value out of this episode, I would love for you to drop me a review or share with a friend what you learned. All right, I'll see you next Wednesday for Your Loving Kick in the Pants.